So we've been trying to plan the inside. We've had a rough idea for a while, but obviously it's a matter of finalisation before you start fixing stuff in. So I plywood lids to the lockers around the back. I went for marine ply because I wanted it to be fairly resilient to whatever it is we were going to do to it. It's 18mm, I think, if I remember rightly. Yep, 18mm ply, and it's meant to be flush to this end because the furniture board's going to come out here, and then to absorb as much of that distance at the back towards the back door. Same applies to over there. It's meant to be just flush with that. And the overhang here is because there's going to be 15mm ply, furniture ply to sit in here. So I have a sneaky feeling they might have to cut into this, but I hope not, in terms of putting the table in this gap. Because plans changed ever so slightly depending on because of the table that we got, which was pre-made to fill the slot that's available. So next thing is the fridge. I remember I was saying a while ago that we had a 3-stage fridge. Well, it was just too much of a pain in the backside to figure out how to drill holes in that wall, avoiding the cross and getting through the layers of the wall, etc, etc, etc. So this is a Dometic 12 volt, which is a hell of a lot smaller, which also means that we don't have to have the thing going up to here, which it was going to have to. It's going to feel a little bit closed in because it's going to come to about here, all the way up to here. On the other side, you can see that shower tray, it goes here, and that's going to come out quite a long way. So although there's a bit of a pinch point coming through the door, it then opens out a bit towards the back. For my money, that is going to be better than either not having a loo or having it in such a way that, because the idea is that this will be a wall here, a wall here, a wall there, and a tambour door will come round here to lock off the shower and the loo area, and then when it's not being used we'll block off so that the loo's not on constant show. So this is just I don't know, was it 8mm ply or something, just to give a solid base on the top of everything. We've got thermal and sound insulation underneath, a post to support the edge because this fridge needs to come to the front edge. You've got to have a certain amount of distance, either I think it's 5 centimeters above the top for air to circulate around, but you're also able to do it going up the back. So we're going to bring this to the forward, have holes in the worktop or a vent to let the air circulate around and avoid having to have anything any higher than about there. So far so good. We've been trying to do that's the Dometic sink and gas hob that we ordered oh gosh, ages ago. I liked it because there was 2 big rings, they were reasonably well apart, you could get 2 pans on there without having to give up on the second ring because you can't fit anything else on. And the idea is it's going to go, you know, here. There's a lot of wasted space in the corner, but we're going to have a bin there that you access through the top, and maybe even a tall storage area for like spoons and implements and stuff to save them having to be in a drawer anywhere. Here is going to be drawers, the air heater underneath, just some tools and access to the gas taps and things. And I'm not sure yet whether I'm going to have to do that with the furniture board going round or whether I can actually go straight across. It's going to be dictated by how much of a pain the shower tray and loo are going to be, but we will see. These are simple lino squares that's self-adhesive down. The plywood I put underneath to try and give some evenness around some of the support situations, the edge of where the new aluminium comes up to the edge of the old floor, over the top of plates that were covering old access points to the petrol tank, etc. And it was a way of getting some sort of even surface before then putting a floor over the top. I put it down first, although I knew it was going to get grubby, because then the furniture board that comes down on top will have a nice clean edge, rather than trying to cut this stuff round the base of furniture board, which I thought wouldn't really work. That's about where we're up to so far, other than I suppose the lights are all in, including the personal lights in the corner. Surrounds in, I think we said that last time. And we've decided that Leanne's going to make some just simple roll-up blinds that hold up with tethers for the windows, rather than formal caravan blinds. I think it makes it easier, and what one thing or another, I'm sure everyone's income's taken a bit of a hit, and mine's gone backward a bit, like anybody else. So we're having to just watch it and not spend too much, where we can get away with doing things a bit simpler. So originally the loo was going to exit cassette out of that bottom part of the wall there, and after measuring it, really felt it was just about enough room, but there's not, about 1/2 centimetre, and cutting girders and things, so sent the other one back and got this instead. So you can see how far over this comes, so we need to lose as much of that as is reasonably possible. Lose as much of this to get the loo to go that way as much as possible, so that the wall that's here and there doesn't sort of come at you too much and be obtrusive. I think it is going to look a little bit closed in at the top end, but I can't think of any other way around it. I've tried all sorts of permutations, and it's either that or don't have a cassette loo at all, and whereas that's a possibility, it's not what I want. If it doesn't work out and we really don't like it, clearly we can just unbolt all this lot, throw it away, get a shower tray just to fit there, and get a sit-on loo with no cassette portion to it at all, which means you can shrink that in. That sort of flat surface there is going to be where the shower mixer tap on top of a platform here, and the hose will go up and attach sort of here somewhere. We're going to have a curtain that goes round the doors to help with sealing off any water getting into the nooks and crannies, and the water pipes hopefully will probably have to go this way, because I think by the time we've chopped a lot of that away, there may not be a huge amount of room to let things run in that direction. And this end we shall have to see what space we need for the loo. So today's dilemma, or fiddle, or all of the above, is this bloody thing. So this is a standard tray to go with a Thetford toilet. We did originally have one the other way around, so it would go out the wall, but as I said on a previous video, there's a big support beam behind there, which means you can't do it. So then we had to look at it being on this way round. So that means there has to be a wall behind the back of the loo to match up where it's going to go, which actually comes out quite a long way, which obviously was some concern. You can take it a little bit further towards the wall in terms of the actual loo fitting in, and the other thing we were concerned about is how much room it would take to get the loo out. Now this is a piece of information not the loo, the cassette. This is a piece of information you just can't get anywhere, but I'm telling you, it isn't very far. So it gets to about that point, and actually then it will come out fairly vertical. So that's only the distance that you need, which is, well, about 30 centimeters. So I was worried by the cupboard coming out here whether we'd be able to get this out. We did not want to bring it out this way, but it's the only way of having a cassette toilet, which I really wanted to do in this camper conversion based on the way things are. So from my point of view, so be it. So back to the cutout, you can see there's a bit of hacking gone on. There is a lip that goes on the side of this. Here's one I prepared earlier, aka Blue Peter, for all those of you old enough. But when that was on, it set it right back here, which is all very well, but that means it sets the loo back even further to here. And even though I have already taken some off the edge of the shower tray, there was no way that it was going to be usable because it took up so much room inside the cabin. So what I figured was we'd take the lip off, which was a nice sealing mechanism, move it further forward to its limit. Not worry too much about over here. I'll use an excess piece of plastic and filler to seal off around here, but this side more important because the shower is going to run down the side of the loo over that lip, and so it needs to be as sealed as I can. So I'll glue that on, and then obviously seal it on as usual when the loo goes in. Behind that lip down there, I was originally going to have a wood stringer to support it. Instead, I'm going to use these. They are plastic support brackets for shelves and cupboards and so on from a kitchen construction, and we only know about it because we had them because we fitted a kitchen in our utility room recently, and this is from an old set that we had tons left over. So I'm going to run those along the edge screwed into the wall, several of them, higher on that end so the water gets pushed that way, and then continue to support it all the way along down here. Then there'll be wood supporting underneath here, wood, and this is, I hope, where I'm going to get the water pipes coming from here under here. There's a gap under the back here for the pipes to get through, and then they'll come through here to a little platform here that's going to sit just there. So the reason why I have to do it this way around is because this is what dictates how much room gets used up over here. Therefore, how much we've got to allow where I'm sitting to make sure there's at least a doable passageway through here. Now it is going to be a little bit tight and possibly a little bit constrictive getting through here, but it'll be reasonable. And then it will open out because it's going to come to about 17 and a half centimeters there, but we're only bringing it to about 60 on that side. And that way, this is what dictated the whole way around, and where I'm sitting is where the stove and the sink are going to go, and that needs to be jiggled around depending on how much room we need. Ideally, I'd like at the corner of the work surface coming across here, but we may have to actually bring it in a zigzag to match what's left of the cupboards and what have you here, so that you can actually get past this pinch point with ease. But clearly, watch this space. The fridge I've mentioned before, a CRX50 from Dometic. This is a sort of mock-up of roughly what we're going to get. We've got about a 25mm walnut worktop, which is a little bit thicker than that, but it was to get an eyeball of roughly the height of the work surface, because obviously fridge is going to come right to the edge, and because it's got so much space behind, we can vent up there rather than needing the extra 5 centimeters here, which is recommended for the air to vent up, you know, underneath the feet, along underneath, up past the cooling mechanism, and then it vents out this way. But it can vent out up there. It's important that it's got plenty of air circulating, otherwise the machinery at the back will be pumping and doing the compressor and so on for far too long, possibly even keeping you awake, but also burning the motor out early, using loads of juice. And so good air circulation, we're going to have a vent, well, several vents across the top to let the hot air escape. And I think actually hot air coming out that way is a hell of a lot easier than trying to get it to then come this way. Obviously time will tell. So that's where we're up to at the minute. We're about to start cutting the furniture board, so we needed to do this to try and work out where all the, you know, there's going to be a panel here, panel here, panel here. The panels and stuff along here we will have to see where we get to, but the priorities are the end pieces that have to be one piece, and obviously the floor to ceiling bit here. Let's see how we get on. So that's the trim edge back on to help secure the loo in a mow. So that's the shower cubicle, and the plinth to go under the shower tray to support where you stand. It needs fixing at a corner because that's a little bit mobile, and there'll be a box section that comes out here with the shower tap there. The pump to shift water from the shower tray, tap will go out, pipe sorry, and then back up under here, and then the pump is going to go here and pump into the tank, which is going to be underneath there. So after loads of measuring, this is the smaller of the Fiamma waste tanks. This is the 40 litre Fiamma freshwater tank, and Fiamma, I think they're jumbo wedges for levelling. The LPG inlet for the tank, and this needs testing, and then that's the copper pipe to go up inside from the tank. So the pump has to get it from the other side of the vehicle to here. Just keeping that for tools and stuff. These are 12mm semi-rigid pipes, blue for cold, red for hot. I think I've sort of underestimated, I think, how much I need, because it's going to come under the edge of the tray this way. Water pump's going to be here, the tanks are underneath here, and the hot water pump is through there in the box behind the passenger seat. So this is where we're up to. Shower cubicles in. Just need a bit of tidying up. The space there is going to have a tambour door going all the way to the floor. So I've got a white shelf to go along there, one to go in the middle, and that post is to support behind the corner, because there's going to be work surface then on the top of that. I haven't stuck it in because I want to make sure it lines up with the panel when I put it in. Just positioning the fridge and sussing out where stuff's going to go, and the cupboards around the electrics and so on. And then this is the back seat. We have an IKEA foam mattress that we're going to put on and cut up. One sponge there, one for the middle, and then one here. And that's what we're going to cover the things with, as a sort of slight nod to the checker plate type cloth that you get on some Land Rover seats. These are some big cushions, in fact we've got 4 of them. that we had from when we got a sofa, and how things were actually delivered the wrong things, so these were left with us as a sort of compliment, and so they're going to match. And then 2 behind me where I'm sitting, and then the cushions that make up 2 strips here run along the back there. So things move on as usual. It's oh, I can't do that till I do that, till I do that, till I do that, and so on. And today I didn't get an awful lot done because I was just running myself around in circles. So the trim bit that's on the shower tray, that has to dry before I can then check that the loo fits properly over it. And I can't get the shower tray down in the shower block till I've got the drainage stuff that needs fitting for it, and that hasn't turned up. So yeah, a bit frustrating, but it's getting there. So tomorrow, hopefully when it's not raining so much, I can start cutting some more of these panels. Camera's sat on top of the fridge, and it needs a panel either side, and start fixing those into the surrounds around it, and also looking to weight. I've asked about, you know, the corner cabinets that you can get in kitchens where you open the door, and then as you open it more, it pulls the other tray along out of the L. Well, I need a bit more information than you can get from just looking online, to see that the frame that it needs and so on, whether it's going to get in the way of making the cutout for the sink. Basically, in the corner there, there's the sink and what have you is going to run across there, and the corner cupboard I'm talking about is underneath. So I need to make sure that the frame doesn't get in the way of what I'm trying to do. You know what it's like. If you don't check, it will get in the way. So we're getting to the point where I've done most of the connections for the gas underneath. I'm just at the point of starting to bring stuff through here. The worktop has arrived in its one bit, and that's all been oiled up, but we're not going to do anything with that until all the inside of the cabinets has been done, because obviously this is great access through the top to fix stuff. Once it's on, it's just poking through the front, which is a bit of a pain. So hopefully we'll get a few more panels cut tomorrow, start thinking about where the pipes for the taps are going to go, and we will have a look, and I'll show you where we're up to. Cheers. If you like what you're seeing, hit the subscribe button, give us any comments or questions that you like. I have answered one or two. Somebody asked me where I got the pattern for the cutout for the door, who made it. I have asked the guy who supplied and fitted it for me, but I haven't heard anything back yet, so bear with me and I will get back to you at some point in the not too distant future as soon as Trevor lets me know. Okay, cool. Bye.